Hello and welcome to glorious downtown Elizabethtown. We are live on location for Issues and Insights this week. I'm your host, Kendra Scott, and I'm excited that we are back at the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame. Today we've got a great show for you in store. We're going to talk a little bit about Cruise in the Heartland that's coming up this time of year, and we've got a special guest that's going to be with us to talk about the beautiful piece of machinery right behind me. But of course, at first we need to talk with Mr. Paulnage, who is the director and basketball enthusiast and celebrating a one-year anniversary. Happy birthday!
Hey, well, thank you very much.
To the Hall of Fame. It's amazing. 1 year. It's flown by.
I don't quite remember it, but I know we have it on tape somewhere.
Yes.
A year ago, as we taped this on a Friday, we were getting ready, putting the finishing touches on the Hall of Fame and getting ready for the ribbon cutting, which was a tremendous, tremendous event in itself. It was quite hot that day.
Well, July.
Mid-90s.
Yeah.
But then the following week was Cruise in the Heartland, as you mentioned, and we're gonna tie that all together in today's show. But the 1 year anniversary, it's certainly been 365 days of fun for me. And while it wasn't our official opening, it was our ribbon cutting ceremony, and it was a lot of dignitaries. My memories of that day and that weekend were such that we put in our sixth Hall of Fame class.
Oh, wow.
We put in the final group
Yes.
to get us to 100 inductees with Aaron
Wow.
Boley and so many of the all-time greats. Coach Ray Venzel from the area, of course, Town High, and so many others that it was so special to have them here and to have them actually see the 4 years that it took to build this facility.
Yes.
And they knew it was coming. The planning process and then the little by little it's all come together, and when they came in to see it, they were it was just a reminder when we think back to that weekend, a reminder of how important it is to keep those memories alive and to keep the legends and the stories of the greatness of our coaches and players in the Commonwealth of our high school game, to keep it alive and rich and still growing throughout the Commonwealth.
And that's what the museum is all about, or the Hall of Fame, I should say.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So tell us what all has transpired in 1 year. A lot has gone on here in that time.
We've had nearly 4,500, almost 5,000 people come through our doors.
That's amazing.
And that way, and they were so many different groups, whether it was Hardin County Chamber of Commerce bringing the farm table group in, or the just junior development, school groups, etc. It's just been a real joy to get to meet so many people and the young kids who have come in. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, we had a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, a brother and a sister, and the boy was just so thrilled about basketball, and the little girl came, "Where are all the basketball players?" She just kept asking that over and over, and it was so sweet. And you have to show them, and you teach these lessons. You touch one at a time, and when you touch one, you're inevitably going to touch more lives than that.
Yeah.
And we've had people come from as far as Germany.
That's amazing.
Hawaii.
Yes.
We've had them from all over the country here in the United States, and even some foreign guests as well, and that's been a real thrill.
That's neat, because basketball is universal, and it's not just our little community, it's all across Kentucky, and our disease,
Hey, Kendra,
our epidemic, our lifestyle of basketball has spread all around the globe.
Oh, absolutely, and it's one of our better habits. Let's just say that.
That's right.
You can take the person out of Kentucky, but you can't take the basketball out of that person, because we all grown up with it in a way that it's so special and so dear to us. And it was funny that after that opening weekend, when we inducted our 6th class and our 100th member, who was indeed Aaron Boley,
Awesome.
Elizabethtown great, we took a little bit of time to put the finishing touches on the facility, on the Hall of Fame, and the week after our ribbon cutting was Cruise in the Heartland.
Amazing.
And
thousands of people.
It was incredible in that if it was 95 degrees on our ribbon cutting day, 1 week later it was a perfect 78, blue skies, no humidity, and thousands of people out here. And everyone said, "Hey, we've never had a cruising like this."
Never.
Because it's always storming or raining, and it was really, it opened my eyes. Nobody wanted to come inside.
Right.
everyone was
hanging out,
to stay outside,
right?
Because we've had such a hot. It was such a hot summer and a hot few weeks ahead of that, and it was great. There were a lot of people who got to see it, come by, visit, and then we had our 2 weeks later. After that, we had our official grand opening on second Saturday in August 12th. So. That was our beginning process, but Cruising the Heartland, it showed me a lot, and there's going to be more to talk about.
There are.
That vehicle right there, it's not another basketball, folks, behind us. You cruise with a basketball in that car, you're going to find some some people interested in what's going on. That's pretty cool.
It is way cool.
It's basketball orange.
I know. I mean, I really appreciate you getting this car today, because it is my high school alma mater's colors. So thank you, the orange and the black. Yeah,
hey,
Osseo High School. We appreciate that.
We should be doing some carpool karaoke in there, right? We should be getting in the front seat and talking.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we should have had.
Do you think Mr. King will allow that?
Well, we'll see. Mr.
We'll
King,
talk about
I think
that.
he would. He's been kind enough to bring it. He's a great
has.
volunteer with us, and you'll meet John and the car here in just a minute, right?
It should be your official car. I'm just saying.
Official car of the Kentucky High School Basketball Hall of Fame. Right there.
Right there, right here.
1973 version.
Yes.
Who was the state champ in 1973? I bet you he knows.
He probably knows. I don't.
I do.
Okay.
I do. 1972, he's given me a signal. It was 72. So I don't know who the 72 champ was. I believe 73 was Shawnee.
Okay.
And Rudy Macklin. I believe. Maybe not Rudy, but 73, I believe, was Shawnee.
Good.
We'll have to check that.
We'll check the historical data inside there.
And then we'll let John talk more about the car.
We'll let John talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about how you're celebrating the 1 year anniversary. There's all kinds of cool stuff. We can't miss out on that.
With Cruising the Heartland and our 1 year anniversary, we're going to have a sidewalk sale out here with Cruising the Heartland, weather permitting, and we're hoping it's all good, as everyone is. And
because you have great stuff for sale inside. There's T-shirts.
Our T-shirts, can koozies, mugs, our coffee coolers. The book is phenomenal. Now, that history book, 780 some odd pages, everything you want to know about Kentucky high school basketball up through 2017. It is something special. I'm telling you, people come in and they start arguing. It settles. It settles fights, and they'll give you corrections.
Yes.
And we'll send them along. But our research guy, the guy who wrote it, he's pretty darn good.
I would think so. Yes.
A lot of research on it. But yeah, that's we'll have our sidewalk sale. We'll have our little mini basketballs. The kids love those.
Yes.
We had them out for the barbecue blues and bikes.
The red, white, and blue?
Oh, no. The red, white, and blue we used for our Papa Shot.
Gotcha.
Remember,
we did.
Yes.
I think I won that.
Yeah, we won it.
I'm kidding.
But who won the vertical jump contest? You got close.
I didn't come anywhere near close. I think it was our wonderful videographer, Reed. Yeah.
He did.
Good job, Reed.
But no, we're looking forward to it. John can tell you all about these cars and how much fun the cruising is, and I'm sure it's going to attract people this way. You might even be able to see this car if the weather holds. Next week we'll have it in our parking area if the weather holds, and he can bring it out and bring it back to us.
Good deal. It's perfect for selfies, especially behind the orange balls. I know a lot of folks come and do selfies because of the basketballs. They love that. That draws them in.
And that's just so unique.
But this is the car everybody wants their photo with. So yeah, it's a classic muscle car. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I get a little geeked out about cars a little bit.
Well,
so I know enough to be dangerous, but we're going to talk to the expert.
Yeah, he will help you with that.
All right. Well, coming up, we're going to talk to Mr. John and find out more about this beautiful 1972 Chevelle and find out all about it, the ins and the outs, and maybe do some, cool, maybe he'll rev the engine or something for us. I don't know, I'm all about that. All right, we'll be right back. And we are very lucky and excited to have two beauties right here with us. I feel like I'm on The Price is Right, but we have got the lovely Mrs. King and her pride and joy, her baby. I don't know, do you all have a name for the car? No, okay. Some people name their vehicles.
All I know is that John and Linda have had this car since 1972, and you know what? I'm just thrilled that it's here.
Yes.
And I'm thrilled that it sort of ties this whole thing together, this whole show, because Cruising the Heartland was a week after our ribbon cutting, as I mentioned, Kendra. And John is such a huge basketball fan. He's from Wayland. She's from Wheelwright. They were high school sweethearts. They get married. They've been married 55 years. and I'll let them tell that story. But he loves basketball.
Yes.
And so does she.
We talked a lot about that. Kentucky fans living in Michigan, so had to be transformed into Michigan fans that are now in Kentucky.
And
My wife will quickly tell you she's a University of Michigan fan. First and foremost.
but he is a Kentucky
He's
fan.
Kentucky
and,
blue.
and what he did, what was so unique was, or was so neat was, he was looking for the Hall of Fame. He walked right by it. And then the following, just a couple weeks later, when we had our official opening, and he came in 2 or 3 times, and we just talk, and he said, you need to volunteer. And
That's
John
right.
and Linda have been volunteers with us from the beginning, and it's been terrific. They're great folks, and hey, I've talked enough about the basketball part. This is the time to talk about cruising with this guy, because that is a special car. I don't know cars, folks. I know hoops. I just know that's an awesome car.
I know it's a fantastic, fabulous muscle car from 1972, which was a great year. So we're going to let Mr. John and Miss Linda talk a little bit about this beautiful vehicle, and we're going to get some great footage. So all the car enthusiasts at home watching, they're up close to their screens right now. They're geeking out because it is absolutely incredible. And so we'll all be looking for this at Heartland, or at the Cruise in the Heartland, because this
like
is
you said, that's up to him where he's going to put it. I hope he can put it right back here in our parking area,
Well,
so people can come by,
yes.
because we'll have the big tent set up. The city will set up the big tent this week, and people will have all the picnic tables here. It'll be great. The food
Primo
trucks,
location.
yeah, it's a perfect and then of course they'll all be out in the street right in front. It's going to be a real fun time.
Yes. Well, let's talk about this car. Tell us all about it and how and why you purchased it. What drew you to the Chevelle?
Well, quite often I get in trouble because I refer to this car as my baby. so that is the start. Well, you know, and back in those days in 1972, I love the Chevelle. They were all over the place. I wanted one. So I come around the 1st of April, something like that, I went out and ordered, because you order the vehicle, whatever you want on it. And because I have like some body side molding on this that you don't find on Chevelles. And so I had it special ordered. May the 15th, May the 15th, I drove it off the lot.
Oh my gosh.
I paid $3,750 out the door, tax, license, price of the car, everything. And I drive it off the lot, me and my AM radio. AM radio now. Yes,
that was a big deal.
And Sammy Davis Jr. was singing the Candyman Can.
Oh,
And that was the first
I love
song
that
I ever
song.
played on it. So I drive it off the lot, listen to Sammy Davis Jr. and the Candyman.
So why the color orange?
Well, it was bright and it attracted my attention. So
Yes.
I liked it.
Yes.
And the bad thing back in those days when you were a fast driver on expressway, you didn't really want a bright colored car because the police saw that quicker than anything.
That's exactly right.
But I still wanted that orange car, and I got the orange car.
We love it,
my
and with the
wife,
stripes.
we went to the dealership, we ordered it, and I don't know, probably paid cash, did we? $3,750. A lot of
Probably
money
so.
back then. When you're making about $5 an hour.
Yeah, it took some time to save up.
That's
That
right.
was beautiful. And so I take it you've raised your family in this car, and it's been
we got one son. We have traveled to Kentucky from Michigan a few trips, and him sleeping in the back seat. Now keep in mind, we didn't have all those things. You know, you had to buckle them in, tie them down, and all that. He would lay down and go to sleep back there, and me and Linda, and she was at this too. We were driving 100, 110 mile an hour down the road.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I mean, that was normal back in those days.
There wasn't a
Because
speed
there
limit,
was-
I guess.
Yeah, there's not many police around. And radar was unheard of. It's just beginning stages.
Sure.
So we move right on, you know.
And talk about that engine that can go 110 miles an hour.
Well, that engine is...
Can we take a look at it, John?
Yeah.
Is that
we
possible?
Yes, we can open the
Awesome.
lid here.
Open the hood. Go ahead.
Let's do that.
That is a 396 big block engine. In today's comparison, it doesn't run as many horsepower as you would think. It only puts out about 270 horsepower. But at that time, in 1972, they went to a different way of measuring the horsepower on an engine. They went to what was called a net horsepower. And that is with the engine and wherever you're going to have it hook up. Everything is going to be driven by the engine. And so as a result, the horsepower dropped down. But as you can see, it's not perfectly clean in there because that is original. The engine has never been out.
Wow.
So I kind of cleaned the best I could. And so it's not something I don't enjoy tearing everything apart like some people do. They like tearing it all out every year, clean it up. No, I don't do that. So that engine been there since 1972.
That's amazing.
And of course, we got to clean the best we could. And my wife's in charge of cleaning, and I'm in charge of driving. So that's what it boils down to. Everything's original in here. I think there's only I think the brakes were changed one time. We had the shocks were changed one time. So it's more than 95% original parts in this car. It has never been off the frame to redo like a lot of people do. We don't. We just keep it going and enjoy it.
That's incredible. So what's the top speed you can do?
It says 120. I probably hit it, years ago. Not now.
Right.
Not now. The fastest speed I've had it lately is probably 80 miles an hour. And I was passing a tractor the other day in third gear.
John, tell me what for anyone who's not familiar with antique cars like this, it's 46 years ago. How much more steel is in this vehicle than and chrome than in modern vehicles?
This car here weighs a little over 4,400 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And today's car that's on the market, what do they weigh, 2,800? I mean, a full car. This one's over 4,400 pounds.
That's amazing.
And all of this here, this is all steel. What are they now? A different type of plastic. Bumper, everything, all this is steel with chrome coating. So it's, back in those days, everything was made out of steel. There's not a lot of plastic in it. These inner wheel cover right here is. That's about the only plastic on the whole front end up here.
Right.
Is that up there.
And how many miles do you have on this baby?
About 47,000. I think about 47,000. I forgot to look.
1,000 a year, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But actually now I probably run maybe 500. I have stored this
46.
vehicle at one time. I had it stored for like 7 or 8 years and never out of the garage.
Really?
Because I just didn't. I was working, and there wasn't a lot of free time when they worked for General Motors back in those days.
Right.
So,
and it is just for show. You just travel to car shows and that sort of thing. Yes.
It shows.
Okay.
The interior's all original too, right?
All the interior is original.
Should we take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
And
And now I am living my dream come true, checking this off my bucket list. I am behind the wheel of this classic 72 Chevelle Super Sport. My dad is smiling about this. He is a car enthusiast, so this is a great moment. And again, it's in my high school color, so it couldn't be more perfect. Mr. John's going to tell us a little bit about some of the ins and outs of the car, some of these cool gauges, and of course this car will be at Cruising the Heartland, we hope, and he'll have a chance to explain to all those that want to meet and greet him in person and see this now classic. I think it's now a celebrity car. You've become a car celebrity. It is. Well, you can't just go anywhere and find a Chevelle. There are only a few, I guess, maybe left in the nation. Because as you said, it's it's a collector's item, and so there probably weren't that many built.
Right. The ones that are around today, a lot of them have been refurbished. They have been redone. My wife calls them generic cars.
Yes.
Because they got chrome where they didn't have it before. But this one is the original. And there's a few original ones still around, I'm sure. But I just haven't run across one.
I bet. Well, tell us a little bit about some of these gauges on the inside. It's so neat. And like we said, it was built in Canada, which I had no idea. And then there's just some really cool features in here. So tell us a little bit about the dash.
The gauges on this one is quite different. Up in the left-hand corner there, you'll see it's the battery amps. And then, of course, the headlights, you pull the switch on and off,
Right.
and it does not do the automatic.
Oh.
So if it gets dark, you want lights, you got to pull the switch.
Okay.
And when you get it in the garage, you better push it off, or it will still be on.
Right.
And then the next one here is your tachometer. And that when you drive, if you're going to hot rod a little bit, you want you to use the tach because you want to make sure your engine's not being damaged, because when it gets over to the red, it is time to shift gears.
Okay.
A little bit before.
Right, and we talked about it's 4 gears.
It's a 4-speed, a Muncie shift.
V8 engine.
V8 engine, big block engine.
Yeah.
So it will get on down the road pretty good. Of course, the gauge, it's registered for 120 miles an hour, and it got 46,901 miles.
Amazing, amazing.
And the clock And I've got something wrong with the clock. It is not working. That's one of the things that's not working on it. And of course, the temperature gauge.
Very important.
Very important with this big engine, because if you're in traffic, I guarantee you it's going to overheat very quickly.
Yeah.
Fuel gauge, that one is scary. Because the best I can do is maybe 15 miles to the gallon if I'm really careful. But if I get on it pretty good, when I say get on it, I mean put the pedal to
the metal, yeah.
Then I'm going to get down around 10 miles to the gallon.
Wow.
And the fuel is a little different now because this one was built to run without ethanol.
Oh, really?
Right, so this one here, it was low lead back in those days, or no lead. Well, what I had to do here is when I put gas in, I put seafoam in to the tank to kind of take care of the ethanol effect.
I see.
And because it does make a difference. AM radio, as we talked about, you know.
Got your built-in lighter. That was a big deal.
Lighter,
Yes.
a cigarette lighter.
Love it. And your fancy air, hot, and defrost.
All that up here. And down here, I added this in. I like a little bit better music than the AM radio gave me, so I added this in and I play a CD on that.
That's great. And you told me a very cool thing about taking the key out.
Yes. And this happened to me. The day that I bought the car and got home, I didn't know this. I parked it in the driveway and tried to pull the key. It would not come out because I'm just drive up in first gear and leave it there.
Sure.
Try to pull it out, couldn't. I go in and I call the dealer. There's something wrong with it. I can't get the key out. The guy said, did you put it in reverse? No, but I will. I go out, put it in reverse, and the key comes out. But that was the way I learned that problem.
That's incredible.
So it's got to be in reverse to get the key out. It won't release.
All right. So one last question before we go. Tell us about when you pull up to a stoplight and the reaction you get from folks sitting next to you.
People sometimes, they like to goof off with you no matter what they're driving. They don't care. They just want to irritate you to see if you'll take off for them.
Yeah. I bet you've never lost.
Yes.
Well, we love that people give all the looks and
One additional
stares.
thing is that steering wheel.
Yeah,
how it's
it
locked.
locks.
Once it goes in reverse, you pull the key out, the steering wheel locks.
We're not going
And
anywhere.
it will not change. It will. You can't. I mean, you could drag it down the road, and it's going to stay in that position. So that's the difference. And also, if the engine dies, you don't want to be going too fast because the brake will not work. Your power brakes doesn't work. So in order to do that, you have to use your. Back in our day, we called them emergency brake.
Right.
I think now they call them a parking brake. But you have to use that because power brake will not stop this car once the engine's not running.
Just too big and too strong, huh?
Well, I don't. It's the way it was designed. I can't figure out
tell me this.
why they would design something like that.
You ever celebrate after a big basketball game win or something back in the day with a burnout or anything like that?
Yeah, there was a story. One time I went to Michigan State University to watch a UK play, and I had my boss with me, and my wife and his wife. They were in the back seat. Now this is when the car was new, and we're parked in a place, and there's snow all over the place. Trying to get out, couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
So he had to get out and push me out.
Your boss. That's great.
So he went on to be a vice president at General Motors. There's a story behind that.
Well, what about, and this might be a little touchy subject, but you ever go down the road and you see those flashing blue lights and red lights behind you, and because the car just took off on its own? I mean, this looks like something right out of Transformers, right?
Right.
I have never received a ticket in this car, can you believe?
Well done, buddy.
They couldn't catch you.
Not because I didn't deserve it.
Under the radar.
I was never caught.
There you go. That's the difference. That's the
I had a
difference.
GTX at one time that I hit at 145. I was still going. So.
Oh my goodness.
But
And you weren't scared?
No, I was too crazy.
I guess so. I hope you're buckled up because we did talk about the seat belts. They come from across the lap, and I mean they lock you in. Once you're in, you're not going anywhere. This has been a truly great adventure today. I love when I get to come to the Hall of Fame to talk about this. So thank you for sharing this beautiful piece of artwork with us. And I hope that everyone comes out to Cruise in the Heartland and meet Mr. King. Talk not only about his great Chevelle, but talk about Kentucky basketball and all things high school basketball. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what's in store with Mr. Paul. What a magnificent vehicle. Just an American classic, and I'm honored that I got to be a part of it and sit behind the wheel right here at the Hall of Fame.
In your school colors.
In my school
orange.
colors.
Yeah.
In my hometown. It doesn't get any better. Talking basketball and classic cars.
We grew
the
up
museum.
on Knight Rider. We grew
Yes,
up.
we
I
did.
grew up on Speed Racer,
Dukes
and that
of
has a little
Hazzard.
Speed
It
Racer
does
to
have
it.
a Speed
It's got a
Racer.
little. It's got that stripe. It's got a little Dukes of Hazzard to it.
It does.
And you know,
Takes you back, man.
You look good in that front seat there. in
Thank
the
you.
driver's
Thank
seat.
you.
Look
It
good
took me
there,
back because
Kendra.
I'm used to driving, my little mom-mobile SUV. So it felt nice to be cool for just a few minutes. And
well, we
jamming.
thank John and Linda for bringing that up and
We
having,
do.
and we thank him. Cruising the Heartland. That's just one of the many connections that happened here
Yes.
last year. Him connecting with us connecting with him, and then a year later, we're going to do it all again
love it.
this Friday. Cruising the Heart, or this Saturday, Cruising
Yeah.
the Heartland's going to be a blast. Can't
It's going to
wait.
be so awesome. So you're pumped. You're ready. So now you know what
we'll
it's
have
all
our,
about.
We'll have our sidewalk sale out
Yes.
here. We'll have our shirts, our can koozies, all our merchandise, our basketballs, our little basketballs. The kids absolutely
Mm-hmm. Right.
love. We pump them up for the kids, and they get to use them and
Right.
play with them. So we'll be here all day at the Hall of Fame. I'll be here at 9ish. I
Right.
guess 9 o'clock is
Yes.
when everything sort of gets started. So we'll have all our stuff
Right.
out and ready to roll for everyone, and that should be a blast.
It will, and and it will be open. The Hall of Fame will be open for tours,
Hall of
right?
Fame
So
will be open for
right,
tours.
so
Come
folks
in and
can
see us. It'll be a great time here, and you can attach your love of cars with your love of basketball right here at the Hall of Fame.
They go hand in hand. And
Yeah.
so following soon on the heels will be
Sure.
the State Fair. And
That's
Hardin
right.
County is always well represented. We always highlight something at the Kentucky State Fair that makes our region unique and special, Hardin County. And so
Yeah.
this year, yay, there's going to be a
Unbelievable.
great focus on the Hall of Fame.
And it was terrific to get a call from Sherry Murphy and Kelly Barron.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly down at Radcliffe and Sherry here at E-Town Tourism. It was so wonderful. They want to showcase the Hall of Fame, and they're going to have, the Hall of Counties, all
Yes,
the
I
counties
love that.
and
It's
the
always my
South Wing of the
favorite.
Hall of Fame. We'll have the Hardin County, their booth there, which will be huge. We'll have a good portion of it for displays. We'll have some cutouts you can take some selfies with of some Hall of Famers. Should be quite a bit of fun for everyone. And that's August 16th to the 26th. That's right around the corner. Our next Issues and Insights we won't be taping until the
August
Kentucky
something.
State Fair is already up and running. So we want to make sure everyone knows at the State Fair we will be there.
Yay.
And the Hardin County and the Hall of Counties should be quite a special little, some neat little things for everyone to see.
Oh yeah, and people will so be drawn to that. I often volunteer and work at that booth, and you meet people from, of course, all across the state, and they always
Sure.
want to know what's going on in Hardin County, what's neat, what's new, and it's one of the bigger booths displayed in the Pride of the Counties exhibit area, and it's amazing, and everyone loves basketball and has talked about it and drawn to it, and so it's going to be a huge draw.
Just gotta,
Be prepared
just
for
want to
that.
say thanks to Kelly Barron and Sherry Murphy with tourism at Radcliffe and at E-Town, and how they just said, "Hey, what do you think about that? Do you want to?" I was like, "Of course, I'd love
Yes,
to."
shine the
And,
spotlight.
a few 100,000 people. Was it 600,000
About that,
visitors
yes.
over the course of 11 days of the State Fair, the 16th and the 26th? You count those, you get 11 days, and you're just thinking, an opportunity to reach and touch more folks. We'll have our rack cards. We'll have little cards out to give out. You got to buy that encyclopedia,
Yes.
which everyone loves. It's going to be a lot of fun at the State Fair. We're looking forward to it.
Great, we're looking forward to it as well. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm curious to see how many basketball folks will come by and look
we'll
for their
have Hall of
names in the
Famers
book.
there.
Yes,
We'll have actual inductees.
Oh,
will be
better.
there to talk, to take photos. We'll have some there as well.
That's
Absolutely.
going to be a tremendous draw. So that's the Kentucky State Fair coming up August
16th to the 26th.
26th. So mark your calendars. Make sure that you are there. In the meantime, come down here. Join us on July 27th and 28th for the annual Cruisin' the Heartland, the biggest and best car show to ever come to Hardin County. Make sure you do that. Stop by while you're downtown and enjoying all the cars and the sights and the food. Hang out here in the food court you'll have going on, and check out the Hall of Fame, because there's going to be some good stuff. And I'm ready for the sidewalk sale myself. So
Absolutely. We'll have it
my
out
draw.
here, and then you come inside, cool off, see all the sights, and relive those great memories of high school basketball.
It's going to be great. Mr. Paul, thank you so much. It's always a great time coming down
Always
here and
a
hanging
pleasure.
out with you,
Thank
my
you so
friend,
much
and
for coming.
bringing in your wonderful volunteers
got
in
it.
this incredible car. So the Orange Crush is what I'm going to call it. He doesn't have a name for it, I do.
We
so
love it.
It has been miraculous. So we appreciate you tuning into this edition of Issues and Insights. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We had a ball, so we'll do it all again here very soon. On behalf of HCEC-TV, I'm Kendra Scott. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you at the cruising.